Welcome back to the show. Um, Comment if you're here. I see 12 of you are here, but no one said anything but Dad and Lyndon. What's happening? Talk to me like lovers do. Axial Basecamp build, week number 2, along with other things on the surface side to do. We're going to talk about the projects we have going on. We're just waiting on the Basecamp. I will only work on the Basecamp every Thursday until it's done, and then we'll pick something else. But there's always something going on. And been really getting into 3D printing. Although I've not done any yet, I've assembled a couple. So there's some things to talk about there. And yeah, super excited about it. So thanks for coming by the Thursday show. Hole in my shirt, coffee going on, hole in my shirt, grease in the dirt. Let's do this. Yeah. Philip, what's going on? Kim, it's Kirk. What up? I'm waiting for somebody to answer their email invite. We're gonna bring on Kelly tonight, unless he bailed. And we're gonna talk a little bit about projects we're working on that aren't the Basecamp. And yeah, I'm super excited about things that are going on here behind the scenes. Dollar Bill Clinton, it's been a minute. Glad to see you. Glad to see you. And by the book, we should be doing the shocks tonight on the Basecamp. However, that's not what we're doing. I just ordered the shock pliers and rod end pliers and stuff today. So next time. That's okay. We're going transmission tonight instead. But we'll do that. I think last time it worked out pretty good where we're like, you know what? Let's spend the second hour of the show on the Basecamp build itself and shoot the breeze. There he is. And shoot the breeze the rest of the time. So I'm just curious if I'm going to be able to see anything other than his hands. It looks like a hands deal. Hands model. Is that it? Is that all I get? No face? Okay. All right. So we're going to give it just a couple minutes and we'll bring him on. We'll bring on his hands and talk about it. I think we're going to show some things off that Kelly's been working on. Kelly's the only reason why really I've got the 3D printing thing going on right now. Dad's trimmers truck's coming along pretty good. I have got the wheelbase sorted, which was a whole lot of messing around. And I took off when we did the FMS leaf spring kits, they sent an extra one of these front units, motor mounts and servo mounts. The stock one, the servo goes straight forward and it's really long. And then on the black one, it's a sideways mount. And that's going to work really great. So I'll show you that real quick. And I've sanded this body down, so it looks like it's got a patina on it, but it really doesn't. But it's starting to come along pretty good. But I've done a lot to move the axles up. There are 3 pins that take the axles and the mounts for the leaves. You can kind of tell. I've shortened it on the front to bring the wheels up. I did it on the back too. And I also cut off a bunch. And this, like I say, this was the beige. So I cut this down, and so now the body fits really good on the ride height and the spacing. So pretty cool. That is the FMS Jimny chassis, which leaf sprung, and it's working out really good. So got some designing to do for some floor stuff. I do want to show you that we have, and it hadn't been painted yet. I got to do a floor in this too. And it's not all of it because there's more bits in the fenders, but at least now I have the profile for the bet. Dad, check that out. We're getting there. So, and Kirk's in here too tonight under the Kim Singleton YouTube channel moniker. We all crawl and fly together, me, Kelly, and Kirk, and we have a great time. And both these guys have 3D printers, and I'm pretty sure I got one too. So waiting for that thing to show up, and we'll go talk about that when it does, because if things go down the way they're scheduled to, I'm going to have a super nice 3D printer here. So, Kelly, are you ready? Let's do it. Wild Bill, Jeff, good to see everybody. Paul McNeil, Greener Shade. All right, here we go. Let's bring him on. There he is.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Hanging out in the garage. I'm going to zoom it in big style like this.
Right on. First time doing this. You guys hear me all right over there?
I can. You guys hear Kelly okay? So, of course, this is the Basecamp build show for now. What you're looking at, and you can do so many different things with these chassis. What you're looking at right there is Kelly's Basecamp kit that he's built. And you can do multiple things with it. He's changed the shocks. He's changed the tires. The wheelbase is still about 13, which is a stretch on stock, but it's doable without much messing around. Tell us about your setup, man.
Yeah, so this Basecamp used to look much like how Ryan's Land Rover sits. Had the same boom tires on this one, the 382s, and decided to lift it up. And gotta tell you, I love it. So I wanted to be a little different than what Ryan's was. So I basically put the original coilover shocks on, and kept the shock mounts with Ryan's little trick that he does with them down low. But lifted this puppy up, and gotta tell you, I love it. My body is a little different than Ryan's. I don't know if you guys can see this in the shot coming in.
Yeah, man, looks good.
So mine's a little weathered. It's gotten a little beat up over the few weeks. Mine actually somewhat connects like what Ryan's does. I actually put some different cutouts in here, not as much as what Ryan did, and really had to hog it out up high. Maybe you guys can see it better this way.
Yeah.
Had to hog it out big time up here for the transmission to fit, but other than that, I got two magnets up here and basically some material from work, some plastic that actually kind of gives it some resistance against the shock towers. And surprisingly enough, unless you really roll it hard, it stays on.
Yeah, and he was the first one to go at it, and so I saw what he had done, and the challenges present themselves very obvious in your face once you meet those problems that what you're going to have to fix. And there were certain things about the way his set that I noticed and I wanted to do differently. So I cut out a little more material than him, and it's hard to tell because I'm not going to take the whole thing apart, but I cut out for cross members and got the body to sit as low as possible on the one good way to see Kelly. I don't know if we can show him the side view of the skid plates. I'm about I'm pretty flush, and he's hanging down just a hair. But what was interesting was when he still was riding on more pedestrian tires like I have, we had identical ride heights, but we got there 100% different. So I still had some preload on the springs and shocks, and he had shortened them and spun most of that stuff out.
Yep.
But we got there different ways, really, to the same place, and it was really cool. And it's been fantastic doing this, with somebody as well. And I mean, ladies and gentlemen, dude, Kelly got a 3D printer like less than 4 months ago, and that's just one of his. You should show him your other ones, and then I want you. The last thing you show us, if you can, the Power Wagon, bro. the Willys wagon. But
yeah, it's sitting here. But yeah, to Ryan's point, I'm still fairly green at 3D printing, and I got to tell you, the Tremors truck that we're working on for his dad, it kind of really spun me for a loop on really learning my software programs a lot better, and with the Willys truck that I'll show you here in a bit, that was a 3.5-inch long by 1-inch wide little toy that is now almost 22 inches long. So,
which is crazy.
It came out pretty good, but it's just all about percentages. I wound
and
up
perseverance, right? I mean, the Land Rover body that you've got, when you found that file, it was big for like an RC, right?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. And then this other stuff we're doing, though, it's like taking a Hot Wheel and
literally
and making it big and then making it work.
And so, that's the
cool
trick
stuff, man.
That's the trick of it, is trying to make it work. And with the Willys truck, I'll show you here in a bit. I had to take that in to a mesh mixer program and had to cut this thing up into 5 or 6 pieces so that I could actually print it on my printer and be able to get it scaled out, because I'm at 515.5% bigger than what the original file was.
What? Yeah. And you have to adjust everything, right? Because it's made to be printed really small. And so when you scale it bigger, the fidelity has to remain. It doesn't scale with it. It changes.
It does.
For the size that you're making it.
Absolutely. And that was a struggle with the Willys, because
it looks awesome, bro. Look how rowdy his looks on those big tires, dudes. So good. I'm still really pedestrian, but man, you've seen him on. We've seen them anyway out on the trails. Like, they're getting along amazing. If you check out my Instagram, I did post the other day of us peeling out in the sand, and it was my FJ40 and Kelly's big Land Rover with chunky diffs, and Kirk's new RC 4-wheel drive Toyota, which was killer. Now, we'll talk to us. This is what's this?
So you saw this a couple weeks ago. This was one of the first ones that I actually ever printed. And it's rough, but you know what? You got to start somewhere, right? And that was the first one I ever printed. I've done 5 or 6 now, so I'm starting to get a little better at it.
Did you paint that, or is that the way it came?
No, I did. I painted it.
So I ordered a ton of flat, like matte PLA because that's my trick, you know. Yeah, I'm so excited, guys. I wish I didn't get my confirmation today, Kelly, but man, unless just the sky falls, I'm in good shape.
Dude, I'm pumped for you if you get that. That's awesome. Your life will change dramatically.
It's gonna be it's gonna be like another character in
right,
here.
right. It's another family member in the house.
It'll be working. We can. I may just create a channel where that thing, like whenever it's doing something, live stream it. I don't even care.
Absolutely.
Live stream the print.
Absolutely. You should, because it's mesmerizing to watch them build things. It's
Dude, time lapse style.
Yeah, right. So this is like the first print part of the interior for the Willys that I just got done with a little while ago. It's a little rough, but you know, a little sandpaper and a little bit of paint, it'll fare out. But the big thing with the Willys that I learned was I went on Amazon and started looking because I was on Google looking at the different Willys trucks, and I found a Woody wagon that I really wanted to do. And so I went on Amazon and bought these rolls of contact paper for like $8 a roll, and just decided to get kind of creative with things. And
dude, check this out, dudes. This is crazy. So yeah, contact paper for shelves.
Right. So this is the Jimny chassis of mine, one of them. It's still pretty much stock. I did put a Fusion 1800 on it, and I wound up finding a Arma aftermarket bumper that I took off of my Typhon that actually kind of somewhat looks halfway scale on this.
That's an RPM bumper, dude.
It is. That's exactly what it is. So that's my chassis for what I'm going to show you now. And so contact paper and a little bit of 3D print and some crazy work, I came up with this guy.
Look at that, dudes. I'm doing one.
Dude, bro, it looks like, looks like the real deal.
You had it mocked up, dude, before like the whole thing was together. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, dude, I even took and put wood grain on the inside of everything.
Oh, sweet.
So this guy,
come on.
I wound up doing the contact paper, and then this morning before I left for work, I actually was able to get a couple coats of clear coat on because I wanted to seal up the contact paper really well.
Yeah, so yeah. Are you using a gloss at all? What are you using?
No, I used a satin 2 times Rust-Oleum.
It's crazy how much shine that satin still gives you.
But I used clear coat on it then.
Oh, after that?
Yeah, because I wanted to seal the contact paper up.
What kind of clear? That's what I'm talking about. I use satin clear.
It was
it's harder to find, but it's out there. Or matte.
No, it was this right here, bro. Sorry, I'm in my workshop, guys.
No worries. Clear it's gloss. That's why.
Yep.
Here you go.
So
yeah, man.
On this whole thing. So this is my current build, and I'm gonna hinge the hood. Like I said, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with the interior. 7 pieces for this.
Dude, it looks so good. I saw that one on Fab Rats. I sent you the video, dude, to the white built up one. So Kelly's doing his a little bit more kind of scale. I think I'm going to do coilovers on mine when I do this, because when it's a box back like that, first of all, it makes it easy to hide that stuff if you have to inside. And you have yours on that 1/6 scale. Hey, General RC, man, if you're going to shop on FMS or Horizon Hobby, do me a favor, click through pilotryanmedia.com or the links in the description of this show will get you there. Hook it up. Appreciate it. It costs you nothing, but it helps support the channel so we can do 3D printing and have fun and fly. Dude, can you believe that though? Kelly, that was nothing but an idea like a week ago.
Yeah, it's come to life pretty quick. But like I said, it's imagination is everything with this stuff, and I'm having a ball with Ryan building these things, and
We're talking every day, dude.
and trying to figure out how to overcome the obstacles of how to make the body fit on the chassis right. Do you use leaf springs? Do you use coilovers? What transmission should we use? And there's just so much to it that it's a guessing game, and it's a challenge, and it's so much fun.
And even when you do find the things that work, it's still the FMS beaver is the way to go, dude. The big red and white one, General RC, amazing. And if you get the floats for it, that thing is great on the water. I love this wagon, and I love what we can do with them. I think it's crazy how good it looks, man, and how we're just learning. But like when we have these chassis we're working with, like you guys saw me strip down the Jimny. That's what he's using right there as well. And then I stripped it down, but I've been messing to get the wheelbase right to center on the arches the way I want them. And there's a couple different ways you can do that. You can tweak the chassis, you can scale down the print, you can move things around. And so even though you land on a chassis that works, it doesn't mean it's without some serious effort. And I think every time we do one of these, we kind of learn something where, like, I don't know, what do you think, Kelly? Like in my mind, I feel like, all right, what I really, really, really want is a chassis that's like this Jimny, but where it dips down in the back, leave it straight, give me more holes for mounting options, and I'd be like over the moon. That's it. Give me a way to slide the motor up, maybe. Give me a way to move the mounts for the shackles, for the leaves around just a little bit.
Yep.
And
if you could have
done, you'd be over the moon.
If you could have the option to move in your shackles for your leaves, then you can do whatever you want with the wheelbase. It would be so nice. And you know what? You could still do that with these if you really wanted to.
Well, you know how I cheated it? I told you. The leaves are supposed to be, this axle is supposed to be back another half inch.
Yep.
And I just did it with the leaves. And I did it on this too. So I bumped the axles on this one and this one that way by about half an inch by shortening the distance from this part of the shackle to there, which was really easy. The hole's already in the leaves. You just have to lose one of the pins that's in the mount and shorten the front side.
Yep.
And then also there's a little bit of, like I said, a few more holes and a few more, maybe some 3D printed parts and a few holes, and you could put these shackles about wherever you wanted.
Absolutely. And something else I've been thinking about doing is actually
lose this.
I've been thinking about taking my shackle, my front ones, or the aft on the front and the forward on the rear, and actually moving them farther out so I can drop my axle down a little more and get a little more spring out of the springs.
Did you leave all the leaves in there?
No, I took everything out except for the second or third one in the group.
But you didn't do the axle swap, so you got like kind of a stock pedestrian ride height on yours.
I've got, yep, exactly.
Check it out. Same, look at my distance on the wheels to the chassis, and look at his.
Try and get
same chassis, dudes. This is how like modification style you can get with these. I've got a crazy ride height because I put my leaf springs on top of the axle. He kept it on the bottom. Pretty cool, man.
So then, the other chassis I got, Jimny chassis. I'm actually gonna inherit a Tonka Winnebago, such as like what Ryan had
Oh
built,
yeah.
and I actually swapped the axles around on it
Oh
already.
yeah. You
So
have to on that one almost.
it's ready for Tonka love, man. So I can't wait to get that.
That's
So
what's up.
I'm just having a good old time over here, Ryan, getting stuff done.
I know it, man. You're all the time sending me pictures and things, what's going on, and then I'm sending you pictures. Did you print out one of those little models? Like I think, did you print out the little wagon?
I have not yet.
Okay.
My
Because
printer's running right now. I'm making two surfboards for the top of this truck.
that's a good idea. Kelly sent me a picture of the Willie's wagon with canoes and junk on it, and it had the wood sides on it. I'm like, man, surfboards, dude. That look, it's like perfect,
That's what
perfect,
that's what we're going with. And then I got,
dude.
Doc
We got to figure out a print for those dudes. I'm tired of paying $40 a whack for those guys.
Doc Brown's going in the Willies.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
man. It's been wild, dude. Because I mean, every day we're like, man, did you do? You know, we're giving each other ideas and figuring it out. I've got this sitting here stripped, but I've got the power system, servos. I ordered more stuff today. Hopefully, it's a little bit of a mail call next week. I'm thinking I need to get with Boom and get some rims, but Dad's bought Mickey Thompson old school Bajas should be here. I
so
ordered more of these for myself, but the not the KX version, just the KM3s. And
yep.
because I love the size.
Yeah,
These are the
those
just
are good size.
slightly bigger than what you've got there,
Yep. But not too big. It's perfect size.
and not too skinny. They're
Right.
going to fit on regular 1.9s, but I'm going to try them. Dad's tires and my next set, I'm going to put on those skinnier Boom racing rims and see if I can't get a little more round out of it.
Yeah, might as well. What's that body look like now?
The
Are you
trimmers?
Yeah, are you patinaing that or what?
No, dude, that was just me. Here, I'll mock it up. That was just me sanding it.
Got you.
So just I've been when I was working on this table, I was hitting it with urethane. I've hit it with paint. I just hit it with all kinds of stuff. And then sanded it the other night down some. And I have a perfect mock-up for to make this bed sit on it. And you get a little, I need my ruler though, or it's not going to happen. There it is. It, I tell you what though, it makes me want to print in like orange or rust material because the way this looks, even though I didn't intend it at all. Remember when I did the cartoon paint schemes?
Yeah,
This feels like that, but a whole different way.
right on.
Like it's kind of almost does vibes out that way, but it's just a slightly bit different. But man, you'll see that ride height wise and square, this thing is dialed right now.
And how's the bed look on it as far as
I'm showing you.
proportion wise, width wise?
It might be a little narrow, but I think it's fine.
Oh yeah, it looks good.
And I have a perfect method for holding it square.
Dude, bro, that looks good.
Bro, hold on. Let me fix the camera because if I scoot the truck, it'll fall apart the way it's propped up. Maybe now.
Nah, it looks good. You're centered. So
Did I
what?
go the wrong way?
No, you're good. You went the right way. What about the fenders? What are you gonna do there?
I'm gonna print the damn things. I'm gonna make them somehow. So this piece here is gonna need to be extended at the back side, which I have extra pieces. I'll just glue them together.
Yeah, that's why I gave those to you, because you can glue them together.
Because you can see the wheels are perfect here,
Yep.
but it's almost like they still need to come up back here.
Yeah, a little bit.
If I went with that, but if I bump it out a little tiny bit, and of course the bed right now is right up against this too, so there's going to be a little more closer to the wheel. So there's this big old boxy chunk, and then the fender, and then another boxy chunk, and then like this bumper business. So the bed's not going to be that high. It's going to be more like, I mean, there's going to be, see how low this is here. Basically, that carries over all the way to the back.
Right.
Except in the center is the arch.
Wheel. Yep.
But it's hard to see it, but like square though, it's perfect. And the floor in the bed of this truck only has to come up an 8 3/16 of an inch from the bottom of this.
Oh, nice. To be able to sell in the frame.
I just got to inset it a little bit. Yeah, to keep it perfect where it needs to be.
Yeah.
Because I can't go any higher. I'm as low as possible here.
Yep.
And I mean, I could get lower if I want to cut down on this, but I don't want lower because then I'm going to lose my bed. So I'm only losing a tiny bit if I rock it like this. And I think
that truck sits up higher anyways.
It does. It's got a lift on it. I mean, that's the top of the fender, right? If this is real right now.
Yeah.
Bro, hold on. I got cardboard. I'm doing it.
It looks good.
It's a big deal. And it's interesting not having the floor in it to work with. Yeah, I do know I'm losing a little bit of flex moving it closer like that. But I just got to get this to work. And this is where it would be ideal to really have even more customizable chassis to work with. Wouldn't you agree, Kelly?
Oh, 100%. We've talked about it quite a bit here lately. And, you know, the funny thing is, though, with these chassis that we're using for this wood, what I'm using for the Woody and what you've got going on there with that Tremors truck, it is amazing how well these bodies fit up to those chassis.
With a little work. I mean, you got to do the work, but it is amazing. It's really amazing. And I think that's one of the things that excites me the most about the 3D printing of it all is like stuff that I'm wishing I had. I want to try to figure out how to make it. You know?
Yeah, right. And you know what? Yeah. Philip's saying it all right there, cardboard, you know. I see a lot of guys use cardboard, and we've talked about this too, Ryan. Just use something to mock things up and get your scale where you want it.
I mean,
because you'll rack your brain, dude, on the computer with running numbers and trying to figure out what percentage you want to be at to get these things to land right on these chassis.
Well, and if I have a real thing that I can measure, it's easier.
Well, sure, absolutely.
It'd be easier to, you wouldn't be guessing as much as hold on, it is what I would imagine if Brian Chambers X1C more than likely. I mean, it's in the bag except for the shipping, the tracking number. Pretty pumped.
I just actually am looking at the comments. Yeah, thanks, Brian Chambers. The Woody. Yeah, I'm happy with it.
It's so nice.
And you know what I like about doing this? Like you can make it your own, there's not another one out there like it. And that's what's really cool.
This I know I can't get my stupid hand out of the way, but this is the idea.
You doing the old cardboard trick?
I am, man.
Heck yeah.
I am.
Dude,
And then
there's some trailer fender files out there that probably would get very close to what we need for the fenders on that. And it sucks that I couldn't print out the fenders, or the fenders didn't print out with that bed, just because of the way the file was set up.
look at that.
Yeah, man, because they kind of really go up to an A shape, really.
It's got to be bigger, but that's it.
Yeah, that's it. Dog, I'd have that done if it was here, bro.
Yeah. I'm a ways off having to fab up this much.
Right.
A little bit. And I was just getting the wheelbase for the longest time to be like, okay, what am I going to have to do? Because there's things I can do, but I wanted to not chomp and chop on it
Right.
if I could help it. Like, I thought that was pretty slick, figuring out how to just kind of slide the axles up on the arches of the leaves and cheat a little.
Absolutely. And that little bit goes a long way.
It put me where I needed to be. I mean, yeah, I lose a little bit, but
Yeah.
I mean, once you have these things heavy and loaded up, though, it's already a leafer. So it's already sucks on purpose, performance wise. I mean, let's be honest.
Well, sure, but this Woody's wagon, it ain't gonna be nothing but a trail truck, and it ain't gonna like any roots. It ain't gonna like any rocks or anything. So, it is what it is.
It is what it is. And we keep making them different ways. Like we're making trail trucks that actually kick ass, and then we're making some that, like you said, don't in the same way. Like it truly is like going to be a trail truck with that, kind of pedestrian ride height. But if why we crawl is for the challenges of it, when you have a scale one, how many more challenges now are available to you?
Right?
I mean, me and you both have trucks that'll just do about anything.
Yep.
And they're great, but it's almost like not fair.
Well, the thing I like about the trucks is, Ryan, I've learned how to fly model airplanes back from my dad when I was 7 years old, and I'm getting ready to hit 48 pretty soon. And, there's an airplane for every place. We just talked about that a couple weeks ago when we were flying at my house on the river.
Oh yeah.
When we went out to Tri-Valley, you have certain airplanes that you can fly certain places, and, the trucks are the same way. If we go to Kirk's house and crawl and beat the living piss out of our trucks, I take my cop truck because I know it'll handle it.
Do everything there. Yeah.
I can't take my Woody truck over there and run on it. So it's nice to have.
But you can take your Land Rover. That'll do everything.
Dude, the Land Rover will do everything, and that is my go-to truck now.
You have that other truck body close? The other Land Rover truck body you did?
I can go get it in 2 seconds.
Get it. Yeah, I do have license plate material laying around that I'm thinking about floors and fenders out of. There's a couple little Harbor Freight tools I think I might end up needing. Like what is it, man? A scroll saw, those little tiny saws. I have a jigsaw, but I need like a bench one. Like, isn't that a little scroll saw or something? That'd be handy because I'm cutting a big curve when I'm grinding stuff out. Check that out, y'all. That is basically me and his Land Rover, but you don't do the top. And that is a scale thing that's out there in the world. You can buy that kit for $700, or you can print it for $30. There we go. I love the way the Rovers turned out, man. For being my first impression on 3D prints, I was like, man, these are sturdy. They got thick walls. You look at this fidelity and you're like, man, let's keep doing stuff.
So, Ryan, you mentioned it last week. One of the big problems is using shock towers with pickup trucks.
Yep.
And if you guys can see what I did there in the bed, these are the original wheel wells, and my shock towers actually sit here. So I just took and 3D printed another set of wheel wells, shrunk them down, and put them over the top. So that way, then I'm hiding. I'll show you. So I'm hiding all that.
Exactly. My thinking is, I'm wondering if you can't either make your own cross members to widen the chassis, or just space out the shock tower parts that screw on. And I'm just wondering if we can get them over far enough to be where the wheel wells actually are on like a Basecamp. Like, I really am considering that a little bit on this build when I get to the shock towers.
Yep.
Because I'm only doing this once a week working on this truck, man, the Basecamp anyway. This stuff whenever I get a chance.
Yep.
But it's like, that would solve a lot of problems too. I mean, we've solved them in a cool way, but it's like, this is the curse of the scale truck body on the coilover chassis. Unless you want to just make it look like a Frankenstein, Mad Max built up situation, we're going to have to keep on hiding, coming up with these other solutions. You know what I mean? I'm looking forward to figuring out what I do with the floor in my Rover. I think my Rover's amazing, except I hate the interior with the Lexan just bullshit stuff. It was just sitting in there. Just doesn't even, it's not even attached,
Yeah, that's why I went ahead and used just the standard interior that came with the program, and it seems to work fine for me. So, but that's what I love about what we're doing. I do it one way, you do it a different way, and we still wind up at the same crossroad.
Yeah, and I want to figure out, these Land Rovers we did were made and designed for leaf sprung chassis, and we didn't do that at all. And so we've had to overcome some challenges and cut out a lot. Like, I've cut out a lot. So I want to come up with a floor that accommodates the coilover, but in the scale away as possible, dresses it up. Even if it's a pile of garbage trash in the back to hide my shock towers,
Dude, check that out, bro.
That's so mean. That's not even okay.
Awesome truck rally.
I mean, and those are regular old 475s, like, or more. Like, those are like rock crawler tires.
Yeah, but the cool thing about this is that I can have a full body truck, or I can have a pickup truck on this chassis. I don't have to pin. I don't have to do anything. I just set it on there. It locks on there well enough. You can go do what you want. And it's like driving a whole different truck.
That's what's up. And that's what we keep talking about, because we're like going nuts, on these bodies a little bit. And it's like, man, I say it to myself where I do not want to buy a chassis every time I print a body. And if we can make them work on multiple bodies on chassis, like, all you did to completely make that a monster was you put like kind of your regular shock springs back on and regular crawler tires and completely change the dynamic of that thing.
Right. I think I went from like a 35 weight shock oil to 70. So it's pretty stout.
It needed to be stiff to keep those tires out of the body. I thought it looked amazing. You know, we rode pretty similar, and then once you did that modification, it really suited the bigger, you know, tires and the lift. Really,
Yep.
it seemed to be perfect.
Yep.
I wouldn't want to stay that stiff for what I've got going on mine, but if I wanted to keep my wheels out of the fenders, I would.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep. 100%.
It does bring it to another level, Ronnie. And you know, these chassis, we're doing a whole lot of talking about this fabbing and chopping and cutting and solving problems. If you do Lexan bodies, there isn't a whole lot to worry about. I mean, you still can dress them up with some inner fenders and you know, your skid plates and things like that are going to make a big difference between what I like to have that stuff closed up on a Lexan body, but like I don't have inner fenders on my Land Rover, and the whole rest of it's so scale looking that it doesn't bother me. You know, it
Yep.
doesn't bother me like it does on a Lexan thing that already looks cheap.
Absolutely. And you know, the other thing that we talked about a couple weeks ago was with the full body Land Rover. You know, we had those things on some serious inclines, and it's crazy how they work, because
Yeah,
the body actually stabilizes it on a side hill climb like no other. And you would think it would be top heavy, and it's not.
well, when I look at and we kind of cheated, right? So these Land Rovers we're doing, they're not boom racing, but they look a lot like them. The scale leaf sprung boom racing wheels come in, they're not as wide.
Right.
So
Yep.
when that body does roll, the tire tucks up underneath, up in there.
Right.
And so it's not gonna plant itself and thusly doesn't side hill as good. But
Yep.
on your setup and on my setup, the body is the bump stop.
It is. And it's cool.
You got full flex all the way to the fender.
It's cool.
and a ton of, like, you know, down. So yeah, really, really cool what we've been able to get done. And honestly, Kirk knows this is true. Like, we were talking about this Land Rover before I got mine done, and I think Kirk asked me about mine, and I think he fully expected me not to have started it yet. When he asked me about it, and I was like, "Oh, I got the sides done." You know, like, well, you went to so much trouble to print them pieces off and bag them. I mean, there was a lot of pieces to that Land Rover, man. Especially if you're not the guy who printed it. Like, you just imagine you're me and you get a handful of bags full of
Right.
stuff. Like,
Yeah,
never done this before. I'm like, what in the hell?
it's
If
a
it
little,
wasn't you, I wouldn't have done it. I promise.
little overwhelming.
I didn't want to waste your effort at all. And then I did it, and I'm like, I see why everybody is doing this.
Yeah,
This
it's
is the bee's knees. And then you start, and the fact, and I don't even have one of these things yet, right? But I just know, because Kelly made it, that it can be made. And so you're sitting here building these things, and you're like, man, I wish this was that, and this was that, and this was that. And you're like, it can be. If you make it happen, it can be. If you do the work, it can be. Because these trucks were a roll of filament the other day, and now look at them. That's crazy. Fun.
sky's the limit with this stuff, man. And the stuff you can do. Just
Yeah.
think just thinking outside
We're
the
just
box.
getting started, Jack.
Yeah, it's cool.
You know what I mean? And
Yep.
he mentioned it earlier. Like, I love the challenges that you get from your friends. Like, there's the accelerated learning curve of learning how to fly, um, and there being an internet and forums and pages, and then with this 3D printing stuff, there were things a few weeks ago that Kelly was like, "Yeah, no, that's not a thing," that he's doing now.
Right.
Like stuff that he wasn't ready for, hadn't done it yet, didn't know, had no context. The challenges have taught him. Like this trimmer's truck, it was a model as well, not like a RC. So it's been scaled up and sliced and reinvent the wheel, because originally when this thing is made, it's small enough to be printed probably all at one time. And you work with the beds you have, work with the materials you have, and figure out where to cut and slice and dice. I think that's really cool what you did with the Willys Power wagon, whatever the hell it's called, where you made the hood its own,
It's
file.
yeah, because you know what? That battery tray is right up there up front, and I thought, you know what? I kind of want to mount that body on so it's hard mounted. So just made sense to slice that and put that
And
hood
it's
on.
scale too.
Yeah, it's more scale.
It's
Absolutely.
scale too. And these cool bodies and interiors and stuff we're planning, it's like my Land Rover, my hood opens, but I also made it, I can get that whole body off slick. 2 screws and 2 body pins. And if you think it through, you can do that. But you still want it hard mounted. And if all you're ever messing with is a battery, why not just open the hood? You know?
Right.
Or have a clever way to take the lid off and tuck it up under a bench seat,
Exactly.
which if I don't do the hood work on this trimmer's truck, it's gonna be, I don't even know yet what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have to make it where the whole cab comes off, or I'm gonna have to make the hood open. But right now, I don't want to do that till I have a floor in it, if that makes sense. Dude, that looks so good, man.
Dude, yeah, you gotta have the floor in it. And you know what sucks because I can't mount this or do anything with it to the chassis until I get the floor and the interior bits all done and put together, glued together, painted, and then I can put it in. Then I can figure out where my ride height's gonna be.
Nice.
So
Nice. And one thing that's kind of nice now too is, I mean, that's going on a Jimny, so you're going to have a little bit less challenges than on the coilovers, but you still are going to have the transfer case. But that's not a big deal.
right.
That's not going to be a huge deal. The
This
Land Rover, we're running brushless motors in these things, Lyndon.
Yep, everything
Yeah,
I've got is brushless now.
just to go slow. And Boss wants to know how we figure our percent of scale. Well, I was talking to Kelly on a break today, and I looked up the inches of the real Willys wagon and divided it by the 27 or whatever his is. And his Willys wagon right there is 6.5 scale, which on a 6 scale Jimny chassis sounds about right, doesn't it?
Dude, there's there's my sheet for my wheelies. Basically.
Whatever that means. You know what I mean?
And it's just it's all math and you gotta just like I said, separated out. I had the doghouse, I had the front cab and the rear cab half, and I figured out where I needed to land on this chassis in order for the tail end and the front nose here to sit on that chassis, and then divided things out. And then you have to figure out in millimeters where you need to be at on your percentage of scale.
Oh
So
yeah, once you figure it out imperial, then you got to convert.
convert, and then then you take it into your slicing program for your printer, and then you got to start figuring out where you need to be at percentage wise of where it started at. And this one, like I said, I'm gonna print it out just so I have it, and I'll probably put it in the back of this, a small mini me of it that's like 3.5 inches by 1 inch wide. That's
Yeah,
what.
we need to print little miniature RCs of the things in the backs.
Yeah, the toys that were not meant to be what this is. This is 20, what I say, 22, almost 22 inches. I told you 27 earlier and I was wrong. It's
Oh,
almost it's almost 22 inches long.
dang it. Well, I want to refigure the scale then.
So it's probably more like 1/7.
What I say the real length was?
I had told you 27 inches, and I think you said it was like 1/6 and a
Six
half.
and a half. But I'm wondering, hold on a minute. Now I gotta know. Times 176. I just did the problem backwards. So 176, because it was still on my calculator.
Gotcha. Nice.
176 inches is the full scale, divided by, you say 22, not 27.
Correct.
Okay, 8 scale.
Yep.
That makes sense. And in my trimmer's truck, I did the math, and it's like 9.2, like 1/9 0.2 scale. I did some searching on Google. 120-inch wheelbase means what? If you're 10 scale, 10-inch wheelbase on the model?
Well, if it's 120 for one, well, it'd be
12. That's right.
12 inch.
12. And ours is 13.
Yeah.
So me being at, instead of 10 scale, I'm at 9.2 makes absolute perfect math.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
That's how I think about it, is like wheelbase. So if I know on designs that when I'm finally, I'm at Kelly's Mercy, when I'm doing some of this, these are some of the things we're going to think about. I'm going to think about, because I want to do his wagon, and I can't decide if I want to do that body design for a 13-inch wheelbase or a 12.3. You know what I mean? The work's already been done for the 13, so that's probably what I'll do.
With a little bit of help, Ryan, it wouldn't be real.
Gosh, look at that on big wheels, dude.
It wouldn't be difficult to put this up in the air on the Basecamp.
You have to make the wheelbase 13, but that's okay. I've already done it to this other one.
Bro, this thing fits on the Basecamp better than what it does on the Jimny.
Did you stretch out your Basecamp though?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. So we took a 12.3 chassis and are closer to 13 on them. On both of them, our leaf spring deals and the coilovers.
Yep.
And dude, the wagon, that's what I'm saying. The wagon has so many seats and junk in it. I think I want a wagon on coilovers, brother. I gotta have that file. I'm gonna do mine like Fab Rats, bro. I'm gonna go white, I think, maybe. And whatever I do, it's gonna be patinaed. Because I'm an idiot.
Oh, totally patinaed. Absolutely.
I didn't patina this Land Rover because I painted it so flat and so matte and so army green. I didn't need to. But yeah, boss, that's how we figure the scale. Just like in an airplane, if a Mustang has isn't it 37 foot? A Mustang has a 37-foot wingspan, let's say. So how many inches is that? Okay, it's 12 inches. So that's 444 total inches divided by, we're talking of 1.2. Let's figure out what scale the 1.5 is. So 1.5 is 59 inches. So 444 of the real Mustang divided by 59 gives you 7.5. So that's a 1 and 7.5 scale
yeah.
plane.
Yep.
And let's just for giggles, what's the 1.2? So 444 divided by 48 inches, 9.25. So yeah, that's how you figure it. And the whole overall length of these trucks versus the wheelbase of the trucks can be a bit of a complication, but as long as you are comparing apples to apples and not to oranges, you'll be all right. You know, if you're going with wheelbase, fine, go with wheelbase. Don't mix wheelbase and length together though, and then be surprised you get something goofy.
Right. And I've already done that once or twice.
I
Earlier.
bet. Is there any way when it's in the slicer or on the program or whatever things I haven't learned yet? Like my question is this, like if you're looking at a graphic image on the computer of your Willys wagon, could you mock up a circle where the wheels should be so you can see them in the arches and then measure the center of those circles to each other to get wheelbase, and then tweak it till you get it, and then you're like, okay, this is right. I know, and I know it.
That's where design software comes in, AutoCAD.
And I think there may be some other simpler stuff.
There's other ones out there, SolidWorks, AutoCAD, there's several, but yeah, you can set those where you want them, and then actually you can actually do the calculation around that program to basically tell you what that dimension is. Yep.
Yeah, like I want this.
Yep.
So to say.
It takes the guesswork out of it, or it takes the time to figure it out on your own, or to start printing something and go, damn it, I need to start this over because it's not right.
Right. Like how long do you have to wait to measure the wheelbase? Right? If you don't know going into it.
Right. Well, you hope that your math is right going into it. There are times that you screw up, but
that's all right. That's part of it.
I'm not really well versed with any kind of CAD software.
Oh no, honey Chuck.
I do it the old school way, pen and paper with a ruler, tape measure, set of calipers, and start.
Yeah, man. I'm totally getting some digital calipers, but I want to learn. Bro, every time I've done one of these, I've wished I could have made my own bits.
Oh,
little nothing. Cross member bits, shackle mounts.
You and me both, brother. So that's something this winter I want to learn how to do is drive AutoCAD. So that way then I can start doing that. Exactly what you're talking about.
Because we can there's all kinds of cool stuff we can print and slice and dice, and that's going to keep us busy.
Well, it's like the cross members, Ryan. You know, on the Basecamp, you had to hog out your Land Rover, if I remember right, on the floor in the back, so that you had room to go down lower to get your floorboard to sit against your chassis rails. Yes. So in a program like that, you just take and do a different design of a cross member that comes down and gets out of your way.
And I wouldn't have had to cut my floor at all.
Exactly.
If I could have had a cross member that wasn't proud of the chassis rails,
Yep. Yep.
And Shag, what's going on? Everybody, man, thanks for coming. It's a whole different dimension to what you're used to potentially. But man, we're having a ball with this, and just stay tuned. I think it's going to be fantastic. I'm really looking forward to getting my hands on a machine and just seeing what we can do. And Night Customs, I'm really excited about shopping those files and printing some of that stuff off for interiors and drivers. And, when Dad's truck's finally done, I'm going to have to print off a bunch of junk to throw in the back of it. His truck, I tell you what, I'm doing a trimmer's truck. I'm about to do a Sanford & Son. Let me look at that one real quick, dude. Nice. I'm telling you what.
Oh.
Hold on a minute now. Hold on. Kelly, thanks for coming on, dude. Don't let me keep you.
No, it's fine. I'm having a good time, and I'm loving the comments. Fred Barron, thanks. Appreciate it. kind of
Yeah,
works.
man.
Everybody, man, you guys are
Brad, I
good.
think I'm getting an X1C, dude. That
Yeah, I
truck,
don't know. I'm not
that
sure.
truck is pretty sick, dude. What is that?
Man, it's been a long time since I saw that show.
I used
Where
to
did you
watch it.
where did you come up with that at in your head just now? Man,
Just thinking about old trucks, man.
Sanford and Son. Oh my gosh.
That's not coming up very good.
Dude, I'll have to look that up.
Sanford and Sons truck. What is that?
Boss says 1957 Ford pickup with side steps.
Yep. We'll save that one for down the line, but I don't think that's a bad idea. And honestly, that may be one. Defenders look so cool, though.
Dude, the rate I'm going, I'll have it done for you by end of next week. Come on.
Bro, I want two then because I want one to chop the shit out of the fenders and make it just built. And then another scaled up. The reason I thought of Sanford and Sons is because I was thinking about printing all the junk in the back of the trimmer's truck, and it made me remember the junk in the back of the Sanford and Son truck.
Man, it's a good memory right there.
Sanford and Sons, man.
That's funny.
Bro, I mean, that's a hot looking body, bro. Even on something you make to go fast. The lines on that truck.
Let's get on them. Let me get Woody all done here, and then I'll be ready for the next project.
I think an international's definitely gotta happen with all the lights and stuff like I wanted. I was gonna try to do it out of the Stacy, what's up? It's probably Ken, right? I was gonna try to do it out of the red cap, but I don't know. We've been having a ball with this though. And me and you both keep saying so many chassis we need to get for these bodies we want to make.
Yeah, but dude, that's what's cool about this. We'll have a whole lineup of different chassis or bodies that fit on 2 or 3 different chassis, and we can go out and have a ball.
That's what we keep telling ourselves to justify the frugality or lack thereof.
Yep.
I already know I'm not going to want to take them off. Like, can you imagine? I can't. It's hard for me to imagine this body sitting by its lonesome without a set of shoes on.
Right.
It's hard.
Well, I'm putting 3 of them on my gooseneck trailer come Saturday when we go out.
I know I'm not going to have anything new ready to go by then, but we got plenty of choices, right?
Dude, man, the Sen 450s, you build yourself a nice big trailer, those Sens will haul them with no question.
They will.
Kirk and I both have 2300 Fusions, Hobby Wing Fusions in ours, and I actually put a 15 tooth pinion in it, come stock with a 12 tooth, 12 or 13, and I was running in my street at 32 mile an hour. It was nuts.
M-Shag says, check out the All-Star Hobby Chassis, AUSTAR Hobby Chassis, if you want to save some cash. He says they may work with popular items. You know, one thing I did notice about the Traxxas one, dude, the motor is up front.
Oh.
The TRX4. Wild Bill, I totally want to print my own chassis. Just design one that I want to make later out of metal.
That's what we need to do.
Bro, yes. Fully everything we wish we had.
Yep.
And it's one chassis, can be a leaf sprung deal or can be coilovers. Take your pick. Holes all over to put the wheels where you want them.
Put coilovers on front and leafs on the back ain't a bad idea either with the pickup trucks.
Not at all.
I mean,
And
that's
the way we've been able to trick, I mean, look what we did with the FJ40s. We put leafs on them, and we did them in a slick way. We both did it different again. There were tricks I did on it, and you did on yours.
They both perform.
They both perform great, dude. I mean, it's not going to do what my CJ7 does, but I don't expect it to.
Dude, my Mickey Thompsons, I put those on the FJ40, and Kirk and I and Sean went out at Baga one day, and I beat the living piss out of that thing. And I couldn't believe how well it performed. It was great.
It's amazing. So it's not crazy to want to do some of this to these. You know, I put the worst set of tires I had on this thing and took it out last weekend, and it was amazing on those military. These are the tires that came off the Jimny, which is supposed to be some wannabe military looking tires.
Dude, that thing kicked.
It was awesome for what it is.
Yeah. Dude, M-Shag's right. The TRX4 with the 2-speed and the locking diffs is definitely where it's at.
Hey, bro, what have we been saying? Talking about kind of being able to Baja these things a little bit?
That'd be it.
2-speed right there. Open up the diffs.
That would be it.
There you go.
Cool, man. Well, I'm going to bounce out of here so you can start working on your Basecamp.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you how I'm cheating tonight, and then I'll let you go. Thanks so much for coming. I will talk to you later for sure, probably tomorrow. We got to start doing a mail call or something. I don't even care, man. I look up to those cats that we watch so much. We can do our own thing, too. They didn't invent the wheel. I mean, they did, the one they spun last night, but you know what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
We got our own peeps. We're only 20 deep in here. Who cares? But somebody's going to get something out of this. And Unimog, great idea. Colts 3D Unimog. Oh, man. I'm telling you, we got to start. I'm going to start making a list and checking it twice. Because, man, we got some ideas. And we can, I think, make it happen. We know enough people. Kelly's got some connections. I think I hate even talking about it ahead of time because I'm so excited about it. But I think we can make these. I think we can come up with a chassis that's can do it all. And if you can come up with a package that has it all.
Right.
Or a la carte, you pick it.
Exactly.
Because I think the chassis for the leaf springs it could be the same one as the coilovers. I think we scale it up on the coilovers where they come out some, and the shocks are a little bit more to scale, but they're still shocks. Hide them in the wheel wells, hide them in the bed of the truck.
Having the ability to pull a box out like what you got sitting in front of you and to go, all right, I want leafs all the way around. No, I want leafs in the back, and I want coilovers in the front. No, I want coilovers all the way around. Out of one single build, one single chassis.
Yeah.
It's the way to go.
Option. And you know, like that one GSM C-Max 2 chassis I found that was like a ton of money and not complete. It was like a 19-inch long chassis rail. They already know you're going to customize and cut.
Right.
And, you know, they did a favor by being, instead of up and then back down to accommodate these shock towers, it was up and then straight back.
Right. Yep.
And you could still have shock towers on a chassis that goes up and straight back. The chassis doesn't have to do that too.
Right.
So it really all is there. And we love these base camps, but for a scale build, the motor and transmission sitting right where your feet are supposed to be is kind of a drag.
And it's bulky and it's big.
It's a great crawler.
It
I mean,
is.
my Land Rover is almost as good as my CJ, dude.
Dude, I can't wait to go back to Axial Fest this next
With
summer
these,
because I bought my Basecamp kit from TJ, and he's like, kind of asked, he's like, what are you gonna do with this? And I'm like, I'm gonna put a damn Land Rover body on it, and I can't wait to take it back this next year and show it to him.
oh, dude,
We
100%.
will.
Whenever you're ready, I'll send them pictures, man.
Right on.
Um, Anytimes, dude, all you got to do is have modular shock towers, body mounts that fit SCX10, TRX4, and people can fit whatever body they want 100%.
Yeah.
And go Leafs or not. And, you know, there is some custom stuff out there, but it's all really kind of geared at, it seems to be geared at competitive crawlers, you know, competitions a little bit, or it's just super expensive. You know what I mean?
No, I'm Shag. It's 313 millimeters.
The what?
313 millimeters is 313 millimeters, right?
Yeah. What are we talking about?
Um,
Wheelbase. But yeah, man, I think it's cool. And you and I both found stuff that was super scale. But then you're not limited, but you are. Can you imagine buying the $700 boom kit and not putting a Land Rover on it?
I'm
I
sorry,
can't.
sorry to say it, but if I do wind up buying a boom kit, I'm gonna do it because I've heard that they are
They're amazing.
super, super amazing to put together. But it's gonna be a shelf queen. Why do I
And it's
want
going to
that?
be a Land Rover.
But why do I want a shelf queen that's that expensive?
You already know it's going to be a Land Rover, though,
Right.
if you do it. I
If
think what we've done with the RC four-wheel drive Trailfinder 2s or the TF, yeah, that's what they are. There's a short and a long one. Kirk worked his out.
yeah, I did.
I built the one FJ. It's in the garage. FJ55. That's a pretty okay Leaf kit. But dude, those Jimneys are like the best kept secret if you want Leaf already. Because you can buy the FJ40, but it doesn't come with the Leafs. The Michigan doesn't come with the Leafs. You can get that same FMS wheelbase, chassis, design, power system, and everything with the Leafs if you'll buy that ugly Suzuki. All right, man. Thanks so much.
Yep. You guys
I'll
all have
talk
a good
to you.
evening. I'll talk to you later.
All right. See you later. Thanks, Kelly.
See ya.
Fantastic. That was cool. That's what we were talking about a little bit before this whole thing started that we would do. You know, that's kind of the idea. We ended up talking a little. We could have talked the whole show, to be honest, but we talked a little bit longer than I thought we might do an hour. But I mean, that's really what's got us pretty pumped up. This Basecamp build was just some kind of excuse to get on here and do a crawler show on Thursday. So, Michael Honeychuck, yeah, it's high, the motor and trans, but it's also like in the wrong spot. These Jimneys chassis we got from FMS, the first of all, hold on, I'm gonna show you this unit because it's absolutely bonkers, really. If you're talking about space being a premium in these things, that is the motor and transmission on the FMS. That's it. That is it. And if you put a 2-in-1 in there, all you need is a servo up next to this, and everything is up front. So, how cool is that? That's pretty awesome. So on the cheap, you know, these Jimny chassis give us this forward motor, and transmission so we can scale out the interior and not worry too much about it, which is pretty neat. So shocks are supposed to be tonight, but they're not going to be. We are, and I don't have the other, we're not doing another camera, I don't think, tonight. I could. Transmission is what's after the shock. So I just today bought my shock pliers and some of those bits. So we're not going to do shocks tonight. Brake line and tube bender 1024. Thanks. 1024. He's giving me the time check. So this is we're going for the transmission. Last week we built axles, skipping the shocks for now. Raisin scale in here? What up, man? Dude. Thursday's a thing now. We're doing some fun things with leafers and 3D print bodies. But this is the basic bitch Basecamp build portion of the evening. And every Thursday I will work on the Basecamp, only work on the Basecamp on Thursday. And that is what it is. I need these now, probably. Good to see you. But then I can't see the comments. That's the problem. So bag C1, we're skipping the shocks. C1. Got tools. I don't need my bag B right now. C1. Let's get after it. Yeah, I can't do both. It's like 1024. Let's get into it. All right. We're going to see if we can get a transmission build. Last week, I spent an hour on the Basecamp, basically, after talking about the things we're working on. I'm just here for the D-bag. That's me. Thanks, Dad. Yeah, man, Kelly's awesome. And he's solved a lot of the problems, we've come across. And it's been pretty inspiring. And I'm glad I got him around because there's going to be a learning curve to this, but basically what I'm getting is pretty plug and play. So I'm getting a bamboo, Brett. Bamboo lab. Got to happen. I need to talk to you about something. We got to design it first, though. All right, here's the gears. Never fears. So let's see how quick I can do a transmission. It's probably not going to be the greatest, especially trying to maintain a show at the same time and being never done this on camera. I already know I'm not going to need a whole lot. I got 2 millimeter, 2.5, 1.5. That's a 2. Where's my 1.5 at? I know I'm going to need a 1.5. Come on, man. Yo. I know I'm going to need a 1.5. That's Killer M Shag. Yeah, there's the 1.5ers right there. I gotta find that. I also need to get my grease and thread lock Oh, I bet it's in my backpack, dude. I went crawling. That's where it is. That's totally where it is. It's with my crawler tools. AMS combo for the win. Yeah, that's what. I'm pretty sure that's what it's going to be. And I got a lot of filaments coming. Okay, let's keep this thing organized. So fun when you start getting to the gears. Cut my head off. That's no problem at all. All right, we don't need this yet. We don't need that. We're nowhere close to the spur. We've got bearings. Honey Chuck, that's awesome. That's killer. I may have I'm waiting to see, but I may have, that's the lockout for the transmission. I may have an affiliate with them pretty soon. I do not know how to create 3D models, but but there are loads of files out there that if I never create anything, I can take advantage of the fact that other people have. And I can do that till the cows come home. And but I do want to design stuff as well. Can we get a little close up? This is probably going to be it, man. The resolution on my stuff sucks anyway. Fusion 360. I got a lot more to learn. And there's a lot of guys that do this opinion. We're nowhere close to that yet. This is some of the lockout stuff. Let's see, what parts do we need here? We'll get these bearings out. And my ruler, always nice. First thing I'm gonna do is 3D print one of them damn things that tells you how long stuff is. You can put your screws in the thing and sort them out. 5 by 10 by 4. 5 of them. 2 of them, dummy. That's probably those. And you'll know in a minute when it doesn't fit. The setup I had before, could you actually see good enough with that? Did that help? All right, I'll do it. I'll do it, man. Hold on a minute. I got to invite myself through my cell phone. Hold on, brother, man. It was the phone. Yeah. Give me a second. I'll invite myself so I don't have to pay for the run 2 camera deal. Because join me as a guest. You could see good with the phone. All right, man. That's cool. I got it all. I can do it. I just have to answer this. Email I sent myself. There we go. Join me. Turn the microphone down. Yes, it's fine. And the better camera is the Inner Studio. The better camera. Whoa, shush. The back camera is what we want. All right, we'll get this show on the road. And maybe since this is totally what we're doing, it won't be a problem that it's in my face. All right, let me see what it sees real quick. We'll figure that. Man, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Mute the mic. Okay. We're close. That works, yeah. How's that, dudes? That'll work, won't it? All right, cool. Leave me alone now. Just kidding. So here we go, man. Let's get into this. Freaky audio. It should be better now. Yes, like in a bad way, or yes, like this is awesome. Thanks for letting me see. All right, you don't lose any bits. More of the lockout kind of business. So they want me to have that. So which bearings is it? Yep, those are good. The little pin. And then there's a picture of what it's all supposed to look like when it's done. That piece. We got a little this in here. Come on. I just can't pick stuff up. Helping hands. Yeah. I had one of them. I don't know where it is. And it's got to be, it's neither one of these gears because they're just not that. And so see this one here, it's got the receiver for the pin. There you go. So there's that. And then another bearing. And there's a little tiny, it legit is a C-clip that holds this bearing in. Now this is going to take me the whole hour. The C-clip. It's not a C-clip, but it might as well be. Let's hope that it's here. Hemos. I have. I mean, I got these. Man, that's so much better. Except for the comments. So sucks, dude. And I'll show you. There is a circlip. There's another one. But this is the one they want. Come on. That one is the one they want. And then you can see it in the picture right there. That's it. So wish me luck. I forget how I did this last time, but I did it. And everything looks right. Just making sure. All right. I don't know what happened there. If this does it again, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Okay, let's try again. Anyway, so you didn't miss anything. I was just figuring, I mean, I can't even pick this stuff up, so I don't know how I'm gonna put it on. And legit, I really wasn't talking because I knew it died. But the transmission, man, it is so neat. It really is. Magnet tips for the win. That doesn't even need to be there yet. Dirt oval, man. That's what's up. Where at? I'm taking my own advice here. Maybe. Did it still fly away? No way. I got it. That is so hard to tell. I got it on there, and I'm glad I used my bag, dude. Were you at the 5-star tonight? Oh man, I talked to Shane today. Okay, so we're moving on. That is done. That little piece. So now 4 of those little screws. One, 2, 3. There it is. 4. All right. That's going to be for the slipper clutch business. Got more bearings right there. Get these screws a little bit in the middle. So the next thing we're doing is this. Which is simply this guy screwed in right there with those 4 screws. Some of the stuff that we're not going to need for a minute. And like I said, this is probably going to be a 2 or a 1.5. It's a 1.5. All right. Thread lock. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Give it a like and all that great stuff. I want to get to a stopping point. We get this done, this transmission done. And next week, let me ask you something. You guys want to see me do shocks, or you want me to get them done on my own time? It doesn't matter to me. It does not matter to me. I think it'll be fine. I'll just do it with you guys. And I'll have my new shock pliers from Team Associated will certainly have arrived by next week this time. I ordered them today. I meant to order them a while ago, but I was having trouble with my login stuff. And so now it's fine. Video document the whole thing. All right, we'll do the shocks. I was going to do them anyway without the... Anybody else doing one of these Basecamp builds? Or are y'all just watching? Any of you guys, if I get you excited about this Bamboo Lab printer, man, talk to me. Because I really want... It's going to be really awesome if they know... If they are able to see what they've done is helpful. I reached out to them, guys, and they're amazing. And it's you that they want. Mike, I need to order some green slime. I probably do have some, to be honest with you, but I'll order some. Um, but yeah, guys, let me see about getting an affiliate with these dudes. If you go for the Gambini, there's a couple different options with bamboo, and my plan, I gotta tell you guys, I'm really excited. I've been talking to one of their people and told them what I planned on doing, and they were into it. And so it looks like, I mean, it's all a go except for the tracking number, man. So, I mean, this is better than I could have hoped. I don't want to jinx it, man. But the whole idea is I'm definitely going to honor that relationship with, you know, you guys are going to get to watch me learn how to work that thing. You know what I mean? So pretty fun. Bunch of filaments, the X1C. I mean, if things work out the way they're supposed to, um, it's gonna be fantastic. So now I have a mess here and I have to turn the page. Bollocks. Don't lose this. Got my bits. Yeah, it's time to turn the page, dudes. So let's go ahead on. Slipper business. Thanks, Wild Bill. I mean, it's really nice when those things work out. And I legit, I gotta give credit to my wife for all kinds of things, but like that for sure, because she's like, Ryan, you forget you have this channel that you've done all this work on over the years. You have like clout a little bit. You don't think of it that way, but it's the truth. You do. Flex it. And so here's the funny thing too about the way the Lord works in my life. Yo, I was trying to buy it on Friday last week. Bank stuff hadn't happened yet. Couldn't do it. And so I'm messing around on the site. I wasn't able to get it. You know, I wanted to have it for now. And I wasn't able to do it. And so I was poking around on the website and I found the at the bottom of the website, if companies have a thing for affiliates, that's where it is. Same place where on a website will they'll offer careers or whatever, right? The about us section, those kinds of things. And so I'm like, okay, let me fill this out. And the thing is called, they don't call it influencers, they call them KOLs, whatever, KO, blah, blah stuff. And so I wrote a letter to marketing. And then the next day, he wrote me back, asked me a couple questions, and I said what I intended to do with it. I sent pictures of this stuff me and Kelly are working on and explained the live stream situation. And they're like, thanks for the plan. It sounds great. Pick out 8 colors of filament. I'm like, wow. All right. Okay, so we're going to lay out these pieces. So, long story short, if it'd be great to let them know that that was an impactful choice that they made. That's all I'm saying. So then we're going, it's probably this bearing. Yep. just building these things a little bit. We're right here on this one. So we got this. Let's go ahead and just do this first. One of those, the big dog right there. 3 of those screws, which is those. 1, 2, 3. 3 of those. Check. 1 of those little dudes right there. Which is that one. This is that one. And I love these books. They're very, very good. And then Atlas, sick. Yeah, thank you, boss. Yeah, so it'd be nice to let them know, that again, it was impactful what they chose to do. So we got 2 halves of the part of this transmission business. And I always take my time to make sure things are right. Okay, so now this keyed in part here with the like weird teeth goes up. The 7003 bearing goes in here. This will receive a shaft later. Nice. Let me press that in a little bit. Press it in with that. We're going to need this. Man, come on, stream. This big dog bearing goes there as well. And that'll be on the other half of the case. And this one goes here. I'm kind of just pumping the brakes for a minute. This dude already has the bearing on it, and it's the top hole pressed in. This shaft goes in this hole. The 218 bearing goes on that, it says. Which the way to test it is this gear goes on that shaft and the bearing's supposed to be there. So yes, that's fine. Slide that on. Nice. So cool, right? And then this little dude, the 213 number bearing goes in this recess right there. Press it in. These are great for that kind of stuff. And then I'm going for the big dog, and then we can grease it. And let's see, we got to get this in all the way. It's in all the way. Check it out. Is that cool or what? Yeah, Fred, I think it'll happen. I mean, that's what I asked for at first, because I was just gonna get one, and I was gonna buy. Thanks to all of y'all's support, Dad, channel, people who click, people who donate. Thank you so much. But What we were gonna go for was the P1S, which is pretty darn good, but more inexpensive. And after talking to this guy, um, he told me he was gonna send the X1C. So that's the best one. And I'm like, wow, cool. Great. So you know me, guys. I'm gonna grease the dog fiddlings out of this. Always definitely do too much. You know what I mean? I like to always definitely do too much grease. I want to hear it like make a noise. Oh yeah. Is that the coolest or what? And then this dude, I mean, we're not forgetting nothing, right? And this is standard axle, so this is what we're doing. All right, here we go. This is now or never on the amount of grease I'm doing. A little bit more. A little bit more. Why not? Oh yeah. Okay, here we go. Well, that bearing just pressed itself in. That's fine. It's probably better off. Oh, the zero's amazing, Philip. Come on. Get in there. Whatever's holding me up. I already know. It's got to be this crap up here. Come on. The Japanese T28. It's good. What did happen, Fred? I think this might have gave me a little bit of fits last time. What? I mean, I guess that's bigger. That's what it was. Wrong bearing. My fault. Thanks, Mountain. Me too, dude. I needed it. I work here all day. I work from home. This is it. All day. That was it. Wrong bearing. And everything works. Sorry for the delay. Now we got 4. They say do 3. 1, 2, 3. And those are different. Fine. I don't have to know why. I just have to know how to read and follow instructions. 2 millimeter. How ambitious is this to try to do this in front of folks? That's a 2.5, ain't it? No, it's a 2. Do not over tighten. Top 3 screws. I love the way these run, these base camps. I really do. Ooga dooga. Nice. Super smooth. All right. We're keeping on. There's a lot more going on now. So let's keep on with this transmission business. What time we getting into? I don't know because my phone's on the thing. Okay. So two clips. One bearing, the one from before, an 18 millimeter screw that looks like that. 2 little shorts that look like this. A longer one. It looks like that, not those. Yep. And then 2 of these long ones. All right, we're getting into some of the cool stuff, man. A vacuum pump for your shocks builds? No. 1108. Yes, but the 1124, 1130 is an hour on this. Okay, so there's the picture, there's the deal. Now we've got a couple bits to go on. We've got the yoke. we have this. That. And this. How is this not a part of it yet? It's not. This is. And this is. This is where you have the dig part of the build. Now, I do all this, but I will not do it. So I'll use the lockout. All right, so just start from the beginning. This dude goes in here. And this is where things get funny. This goes here, and then the little circlip's going to go in there. If I remember right. It has to. It has to. We'll just mock it up real quick. So we got this and that. Oh yeah, it goes in with it. Yep. That's right. That goes like that. Circlip. Where's the other circlip go though? There's two. Oh, I only need one for this. This goes on the Y. On the sorry guys, I'm talking out loud. There's no way that goes between them. Or does it? No way. I was right the first time. Sometimes if you get stumped and you look at the next page, it'll answer your question. But it doesn't. Links. I was gonna go for what I think it is. All right. I'm going to go for what I think it is. But why doesn't that go? And then the bearing. Let's just dry fit. Then the bearing. That's totally right. CBO Hobo, what's up, man? Yeah, that's it. That's it. All right, so I was right in what I was thinking. This is the whole what ends up being the mechanism for the dig transmission stuff. Come on, get out of there. All right, now we get to reconfigure bearing inside. I was right the first time. I just really was trying to avoid messing with the circlip, I think is really what it boils down to. The short end of the stick right here. Boom. That goes there. This goes there. Circlip goes there. And there, and there, and there, and there. It's cheaper than an RTR if you're gonna not use the power system body and radio, David. The builds, the Basecamp and what I'm building, the only difference is the electronics that are going to be in here and the fact that these are portal axles in the kit. I'm sorry, straight axles in the kit and portal axles on the RTR. But if you don't want to build a kit, what you get when you just buy one is fantastic. If you want to build, though, kits are amazing. There's guys every now and then on YouTube like Pilot Ryan Media who will share his suffering. There we go, dude. Circlip and apart. Come on, man. We're going to get this trans done. Yeah, man. You can't go wrong either way. I mean, it is cheaper than an RTR, the kit, because it doesn't come with a body or the wheels or the radio or nothing. Okay, so that is on. Now this dude goes and the bearing goes. And then these will get pulled up to the inside of that. And no grease necessary on these parts. So the only thing I didn't grab was a couple of these little bits, but we'll get this on first. Pretty neat. I do enjoy this though. Yeah, when it comes to the shock mounts and stuff on the chassis, I'm going to be thinking twice about the way what I might be able to do. So this here is the dig. That's why that thing had a that's the stem that had the circlip on it, but we're going to lock it out because we don't want it to work. And digs are fun because they lock you out. If I push that in, that's the wrong one. One of these is supposed to lock me out. Oh, it's because it still spins in there. It's not been screwed in yet. The 118s, these little dudes right here. I just already know I got to pull that thing up here to do it. Can I see? You roll the screw around to where it's going to catch. Or where you think it's supposed to. Come on, man. I'm locked out. That's the problem. I just gotta get these holes lined up. That may be a trick. There it is. But now I need to pull it up. There, we got it. I really like these because it's a miniature of a real one. You know what I mean? That's pretty crazy. All right, so now they're saying that was the two shorties. Here's the two long ones. And they go in here. Makes sense. We got a 146er, which is this one. Goes in there. Eight minutes left. Good, we're winning. I wanted to watch it. $11.24, Dad. Thanks, man. I'm about right there. I may go a little long. All right, now it's the lockout mechanism business. So this little piece and that little piece. And if it doesn't go, it might be reversed. Threads. Sometimes that is what it is. This kind of stuff is where it's smart to heat it up or get it drilled out. I don't have any way to get it hot. Exactly. That's what I need. That's what I need. I got to go get one, or I'll wrestle this for a minute. Got one. Pretty handy sometimes. All right, you little bastard. Let's melt that son bitch on. Why are you messing? Dude. There we go. Come on. Now the whole thing's spinning. That's okay. That's all right. That's all right. That's all right. Once you get it started, you're good. Thanks, Dad. Once you get it started, you're good. And then you need a little skinny dude to bring it home. And I just go for bottomed out on the threads because that's probably what they want. And then they want you to do, well, this is where we're at. Then they want you to screw this into it. right there. And that looks like a 1.5. $27.20. Who loves you, man? Me, because I'd like to watch that. That's all right. Me and my kid will catch up on it. You guys can watch it. You guys can do both. So yeah, this is part of the lockout mechanism for the dig, which is just neat, you know. It's neat, but that's transmission, you guys. So I just want to say we're not doing the servo, we're doing the lockout. But I want to finish this page. So I'm gonna. You got the metal plate here. We got 4 of those screws we need. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're gonna get the spur on, dudes. And then we need this spur. I'm surprised the spring isn't going on yet, because that's like a slipper deal. Okay. Turn it like the picture, man. Don't be an idiot. There it is. Right there. Do it. We're doing it, man. 2 millimeters. And a live wire. I don't understand that part. Pretty fun, though. Pretty neat to see these come together. I mean, that was a bunch of gears, you know what I mean? Isn't that cool? I think it's cool. Always hand tighten. I love David Bowie. I don't know that reference, but I like David Bowie. Dude, you know how you have Alexa or whatever in the house? Some people. My kids have a Ziggy thing. And it's like for music. I don't know. But the kids are like, they're all the time saying, "Hey, Ziggy," or whatever. And they don't say "hey," they just say Ziggy. And I said, so they'll yell Ziggy. And I always say, "plays guitar." And I always do that. And I think it's funny. And no one gets it but me. Square hole fits on here. It's supposed to. Come on now. Do not be ridiculous. Play guitar. There might be a little burr in there. Well, that's just it. It bottoms out. So, boom, goes the dynamite. And then this, you can't get it wrong. Pegs in. Yeah. That gets it. Oh, most of you guys probably get it. And then that little dude, wait a minute now. It didn't go on far enough. Don't tell me I gotta clearance this. Did I cut this wrong? Huh. I might have to do something to make this work. I don't want to do that. Come on, I don't like this. There. Okay. Thank you. We're good now. My bad. Nah, it was just wrong. And that spring, I swear, that must be for something else. It's not in there. Boom. Yeah, I just had to coerce it a little bit. Ziggy Stardust, absolutely. So that a motor comes in and there it is. That's the transmission. Page 13. We're pretty good to go. I might do the dig lockout bracket right now. If you guys got a minute, I want to get to the links. I just got a couple more things to do. So no servos happening. So this gets really easy, really quick on the lockout. This is a part of it. We need these. Yeah. We're not going to put the motor on right this minute because I ordered another one that I'm going to use. Okay. So we need two little tiny 118s, which is those. Oh, this is where the spring happens. The spring. Nah, I don't need the spring because I don't need a servo saver for the dig. That's why. Those screws and then these They want 2 of these. And you ain't gonna get 4 of these, y'all. There ain't 4. 2. I don't know what they're talking about. The book's pretty good, but it's possible to make mistakes, and they might have. They might have. All right. There's this. And yeah, these go here. And 2 little tiny doinkus. Cool to watch it come alive, man. It certainly is. These go there. If you do want to set up the dig, I don't know if anyone's building this also. You need the SPM like S108 servo is the dig servo that's going to fit. I might go with the 1800, or I mean, I got access to the Spectrum stuff, so 2300 or 1400, but I've been using the 1800 hobby wings and all kinds of stuff. But I gotta use what makes sense for me though, too. That's a little tricky. But I mean, everything keys in, the way it's supposed to be. So, and then this is the lockout that goes basically there is where that's going to go, which you can see locks it out. So this goes there, screws on. And it fits real nice. This is going to go here. And make sure that the dig doesn't. So these are where the drive shafts hook up right there on either side. And they're only one is spinning right now. Now they both spin. So if you had the servo move this rod out, that locks up your back wheels. And so that drive shaft doesn't spin. So inside is what we're going for. And I want a real positive inside, like no doubt at all that it's fine. So I'm going to actually loosen this like you would a clevis just to get I want tension. I want to make sure it's not going anywhere. So we're going to do a turn and a half and see what that does. And I mean, it worked already the way I had it, but I just want to positively. Yeah, I did that OSHA stuff too. I mean, in the Navy, they made you. We tagged out equipment and all that. So I did spin a couple threads out on that rod, and now I'm lining up with the holes, and it's really close. Yeah, that's good. That's even closer than it was. This is a 2. Nope. 1.5, 2, 2.5. That's about all you need in this life of RC. And yeah, you know what's neat about doing this second time is some of this stuff I didn't know what it was the first time, I did it. I mean, when I got to it, I did, but don't let me forget those 2 screws. And honestly, I mean, dig is cool, but not if you don't have the servo. It's not. You definitely have to play with the endpoints and stuff if you do the dig servo. 2720. Ravens have the ball. I mean, I do like the Ravens. But doing this where you don't use the dig servo does simplify things. And there's definitely ways to achieve this job without all the hardware. The hardware is also for the lockout is also the hardware for the servo mount if you were going to have one. But yeah, both drive shaft areas spin just like they're supposed to. And this is nice and it's locked out. You know what I mean? Pretty cool. So we did what I wanted to. The only thing left, and I'll just go ahead and do it, is this little dude. And this is where they want the 2 little they're lying. I think about what screws it is though. I don't have them. Unless I mean I can make it happen, but I might have got shorted 2 screws. Not the end of the world. Because I can figure something out. Or leave off the big stupid case. I have screws left, but they're not the ones that they are called for. But yeah, axles and transmission. So we got shocks and links. Next, I got an extra circlip, which I'm putting in a bag with the pinion, the spring, and a couple leftover screws I have. Wait a minute. No, I did the right thing. Oh, hold on a minute. I know what happened. That's where those screws are. Watch this. these taper ones are what I was looking for. They go here. What's up, meat servo? Yep, shocking for sure. It's gonna be nice having those shock pliers, and then we'll go for shocks and like links, because I'll have my those shock pliers are also how I'm gonna pop in the pivot balls into the rod ends on the links. So that will be nice having the right tool for the job. That's what this is supposed to be. Not tapered. That's my fault. I had what I needed. So, we're about an hour. I mean, a little bit more, but on a transmission, I'm kind of cool with that. And this is a whole lot of hardware for that job. But if I ever want a servo, I can do it. And like I said, both, I can't spin it now because everything works the way it's supposed to. 27-20, 10 seconds. Ravens in the red zone. What down? No way. I think Chiefs lost their first game of the season last year. All right, transmission. There you go. That's a big honking machine. Be nice to have it up in the front, wouldn't it? Second and goal. Come on. Yeah, once the links and stuff are done, it's like kind of chassis time. All right, we got to a pretty good stopping point. That has dig. It does have dig, except I just locked it out because I don't have the 108 servo. This is where the servo would go, and it would operate this rod. But I'm not doing it at this point. So easy enough to undo this little piece, 2 screws, and you can put the servo in. And there's hardware for the servo arm and a spring to give it like a servo saver. And there's even different splines depending on the servo. 4 seconds, third and goal. That's all right. I'm here with you guys. Again, man, my kid missed most of it, so he'll figure out a way to watch it on replay, and so I'll watch it then, even though we'll know already what happened. Flag. Dang it, dude. I don't want to hurry out of here, but like I kind of do. But at this point, when I hurry, it'll be done. It's gonna be done. Yeah, so we're here. Links time. And they give you the measurements for it. And when I built the last one, I did it by the book. If you know you want to stretch it out, this is where you can cheat a little bit. When it comes time to do some of this. But yeah, it's going to be, once the shocks are done, it's a whole lot of link building, which is really pretty simple. And then it's the drive shafts are not too bad. They look like there's a lot, but it's not too bad. And then that's the thing we just built. And that's where the drive shafts go. This is a little bit of a deal, starting to get with the skid plate and stuff like that. You got to really look close at the pictures, but it's doable. Make sure the things under review. I mean, what a nail biter. Holy smokes. I'm dying over here. But this cross member on the rear is what I had to cut the whole floor out for before. And it's where body post mount things would go. But if you're doing the stuff we're doing, you don't need them. But these shock towers, that's what that is. They screw into the bosses on the cross member. So if you just made some that were under flush instead of these kind of stand up, you'd be cool. KC wins. Receiver was out of bounds. Holy smokes. You can see here there is a little bit of adjustability with the length, but if you go too far, then you got to get different lengths, which is what I had done already. Servo mount stuff. But one thing I thought would be cool is, of course, making your own bits for this, because it's not as simple as just flipping it upside down, because this plastic piece here comes down like the angle on the chassis rail. So make your own cross members that are under flush, and then maybe space the tower out so it's got a standoff instead of going all the way to the chassis. And then maybe you could get closer to hiding things in the wheel wells. Something I want to think about and experiment with. But yeah, it really starts coming together once you get the links done and you're into the chassis stuff. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. And I modified the shocks and stuff right out of the gate on the last one, where I put them. Angle the top of the shocks to the middle. Yeah, I'll also put them down to share the link position instead of where they want them, which drops the whole truck a ½ inch or so for free without getting lighter shocks. So that's Thursday. That's it. We've done it. We've done another one. And I'm starving. I'm going to get rid of this. Remove you from the studio. Kick guest. Peace out. Chiefs got lucky. Yeah. Mountain RC, thanks. Yeah, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoy it. I mean, you're here, so you must. So kind of neat. I hope you guys get to experience what it is that I'm finding so fun about this thing. And some of the little tweaks along the way now that I've built a couple. And you're going to see exactly what I mean. I will not put the shocks where they tell you to put them. 4 longer screws, and I put them where the links go. You'll see what I mean. And that seems to be pretty good. It seems to be pretty good. And if I think that's too low, then I can spin in the preload. And that gives you more downforce grip staying on contact with the surface you're on, even when that tire's getting light. So kind of neat. I don't know. You can get there a bunch of different ways. Don't even do surface and Keith is here. That's pretty fun. It's really neat seeing things come together. I think the 3D printing aspect mixed in with this, what Kelly and Kirk and I mean, we didn't invent this, but we're doing it, and we're our own point of reference. We know who we know, and that's each other. We're pretty fortunate too to have Brett around here from Brazen Scale, and I think as time goes on, I'll have more of a inclination to bend his ear about certain things or possibilities. Who knows? Um, who knows? Sky's the limit. We're having a ball with this stuff, and if we can figure it out to make it more accessible or affordable, I think that's killer. And I think there's a lot of people who like scale, but it's just, man, it's almost like if you go scale, it's gonna suck. I think me and Kelly, I know me, like I feel like I really live. I enjoy making something better, whether it's a scale thing to perform or off the shelf ready to run to perform better. So there's little cool cheats to make that kind of stuff happen. And a lot of it's pretty just, are you willing to do the work? So with that, thanks so much for watching. Wish me luck, man. I hope to see this tracking information come through. It all looks really good, but sometimes when things are so cool, you almost don't want to believe it till it's sitting in your house. You know what I mean? It's like too good to be true. I can't believe it yet. So appreciative of y'all and this whole thing. So let's learn this together. We're gonna watch me learn a 3D printer situation as well. So regardless of their cooperation, but it's pretty cool that they're into what we're doing here. And so make sure to continue to support that. So thanks. We'll see you. We're out of here in 5. Hang rats forever. We'll 3 you later. You're too good to be forgotten. We'll see you next time. Bye now. Boom.